Hello. Welcome back to the Dynasty. I thought this was going to be like a short 30-minute game that I would post one time, but it turns out there's 3 of these adventures and they take a lot longer than I thought. So, today we're now going to, I'm pretty sure, America in 1868 for the Scarlet Lady. Dang it. Going back to bed, Jenny. I'll see you in the morning. It ain't polite to run out while I'm still sleeping. Where you headed anyhow? I have to go back to the Crystal one last time. No, Ma. I thought we were all done with that place. We are, sweetheart. Trust me. It's just, I remember the last time we tried to leave town when Bill and his goons came looking for us. Yeah, I remember. The big bully Ernie hurt my arm real bad. This time I gotta make sure that doesn't happen. I gotta make sure we really are finished with that mean old bastard. What are you fixed to do, Ma? I'm fixing to get old Bill out of our lives for good, darling. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. I don't know about this, Ma. I got a real bad feeling. Just trust me. Everything's going to be fine. I'll be back at sunrise, and we can catch the next ride out of this sorry old dump of a town. So are these all just me trying to get away with murder? The scent of whiskey mixed with stale smoke hits you as you enter the Crystal Saloon. Zeke seems to be tending the bar as usual, though the place looks pretty dead right now. Lucky us. You don't recognize the stranger playing cards at the nearby table, but isn't that the town preacher, Father Augustine, the piano? An unexpected sight indeed. One or another one of these folks is going to have to take the fall for what you're about to do. First, you just need to search the saloon for some evidence and a murder weapon. Supper will be served once you have chosen the 2 items from around the saloon. Take your time and choose wisely. Well, if it ain't Annie, I was just starting to wonder if you would come back this time. Why? Whoa! My girl Josie started cooking up some supper if you're peckish. I could eat. Anyone else around, Zeke? Pearl's upstairs, waiting for customers in Ernie's in the back room. Bill's about to send him out to find you. Well, there ain't no use in that now. I'll talk to him. Sure thing. Let me know if you needin' any bottled courage. I'm not interested, thank you. Interested in what, stranger? In whatever you're offering. I've no desire to cause any offense, so I'd rather let you know right off the bat that I don't desire women or liquor. Your accent is English, right? Your accent sure ain't from around these parts. Very observant. I hail from that most blessed plot, that earth, that realm, that England. It's a far sight above this horrid little backwater. I'll tell you that much. There are more rats than there are people in these parts. To be home again, to feel the soft wet grass of my fair country beneath my feet. Why don't you go back to England then if you love it so much? Well, that I could. Unfortunately, I have a certain troubles back in the homeland. Troubles which are no concerns of you. Now kindly leave me in peace. The bag seems to belong to the man in black. You have a feeling you might notice if you started reading through it. Okay. This broken whiskey bottle is probably the result of one of the regular scuffles that break out in the establishment during its most active hours. The edges of the shattered glass look like they're as sharp as a knife. It could make for a very effective weapon. The weapon is small enough to be concealed beneath your coat. If you take the bottle, you can still carry 1 more items on your person. Alright. Evening, Father Augustine. Don't see you in here too often. Please, Annie, just call me Gus. Don't mind me. Josephine is laundering some vestments for me, so I'm paying my way with the gift of music. How's the good Lord treating you these days? Why'd I give him... whatever. I could be worse. How about yourself, preacher? You know me, Annie. Can always find a little ray of God's light, even in the darkest corners of the frontier. Not everyone wants me here, but I dig my roots deep enough to weather any storm. Guess that's all any of us can do. You, Father? Who doesn't want you here? The folks who aim to run this town. They see me as a nuisance, I reckon. There's good money in encouraging people to indulge in their sinful natures. It's my mission to stop them from doing that. I'm sure they prefer a quieter, meeker priest, one who would shut his eyes and let them get on with their evil business. I've never been one to hide away. I just haven't got it in me. Got something on your mind, Annie? Old Bill, the stranger, Ernie, Zeke, Yosi, and Pearl. Interesting. So long, preacher. God bless you, Annie Bruce. How you doing, Zeke? Not so bad, Annie, not so bad. Can't help but notice little Jeannie ain't with you. Not that I can blame you for keeping her away for a while after what I heard last night. She'll be coming back later tonight, right? What is it you think you heard last night, Zeke? Nothing. I ain't heard near a dozen times before. Raised voices upstairs, yours and Bill's. Then there was a high, mighty thumping sound like he raised his hand to you again. A couple minutes after that, you came storming down these steps with little Jenny, and the two of you ran out into the rain. You reckon I left anything out, Annie? Never figured you for an eavesdropper, Zeke. Trust me, I ain't no eavesdropper. Kinda hard not to overhear these things. Don't worry, I won't say another word for it. Guess I should leave you to it. See you around, Eddie. Okay. So, we don't know relationships just yet, which we need to find out. Well, I don't think I'm giving anything to the stranger. I doubt he has anything useful for me. Hey, Yosi, what's cooking? Roast pork, Bill's favorite. Figured I might calm him down to something he likes. Best thing for all of us to keep him happy right now. Daddy said that he heard you two in a fight again last night. You okay, Annie? Nothing that time won't heal, Josie. It ain't the first time old Bill's been rough with me. No, it sure ain't. You got something on your mind, Josie? It's just that I don't know how you can put up with it. That's all. I would have left this town a long time ago. Some treat me that bad. Why don't you leave, Annie? I'm still in love with old Bill. Hell no. I say for Jenny's sake, maybe I will leave. You'd understand if you had a man. I stay because of Jenny. What kind of life could I offer her without a daddy? It makes sense. I've never seen Bill hurt her, at least. You're a braver one than I am, Annie Bruce. Don't reckon I could... Wow. We're actually married to this guy? Wow. Don't reckon to stand another minute living here. I was in your shoes. Do you need some, Annie? I'll leave you to your cooking. Okay. I see... potential? What's this? The back room is sometimes used for builds wilder parties, which usually involve even more drunkenness than usual. A gun? What kind of rifle? Old Bill always keeps collection rifles and other firearms handy. They're mostly used hunting these days, but his guns have been known to use them for other purposes. They might be damn noise, but with a weapon like this, there could be no mistake. And no better way to make sure that man is good and dead. Carrying a rifle could be awkward. You could come back to collect one later. Choosing a rifle, bring your search of the slain to an end. Is this Bill? There you are, sweetheart. Old Bill was getting worried, but he was, Ernie. If you or Jenny didn't show up by sundown, I was meant to go out looking for you. Seems that won't be necessary after all. Damn shame. Could use some excitement around here. You both know the kind of excitement you like, Ernie. There's no reason you would like to chase me. There's a couple of reasons I actually can't deny your fine-looking piece of skirt, Annie Bruce. Maybe you weren't the boss's woman. Nah, no use in speculating. You never figured we were so yellow. Does old Bill really scare you that much? It ain't that. More of a question. I don't reckon you would understand the first thing about that, though. Anything else, darling? Interesting. He's trying to poke. Poke and prod. That must be Bill. Brother, what the hell are you? Ooh, a snake. And a little rattlesnake slithers his way through the sand just beyond the fence. You remember old Bill telling you that he almost died from a snake bite when he was You can only think of a way to capture it. Zeke, no question about it, they found gold up at Red Hill River. Meet me there in 2 weeks. If you still got the heart for it from your old friend Samuel. P.S. Make sure nobody else hears about this. This is our chance to finally make that fortune. Was one of hundreds of folks. Zeke was one of hundreds of folks who traveled to Kansas 10 years ago when there were rumors of gold being found in one of the western rivers. His wife died during the journey, and when they finally arrived, it turned out there was no gold to be found after all. Zeke and his daughter Josephine have been stuck here ever since. Surely Zeke isn't fool enough to be seduced by false dreams of glistening truth. Okay, but we need to learn who Sam is, and then we need to we know who Zeke is. I'm assuming this is Zeke. No, Zeke is somebody else because we can talk to you about Zeke. That's Josie. You're the stranger. Aren't you? You're Sam. You're Sam the preacher. You're Zeke. Okay. So Sam the preacher was talking to Zeke. Zeke's daughter is Josie. You've Ernie in the back. Okay. This is known as the Scarlet Room. It's where most of the saloon's real business takes place. Pearl stands in front of the fireplace, daydreaming and humming a soft tune to herself. Well, look who finally shows her face. Happy to see me, Pearl? Was kinda hoping you might have moved on to a fairer pastures. Sure as heck fire ain't no use in your staying around here. Would have been better for the girl, too. The crystal's no place for a sweet little thing like her. You would have liked it if I got away, then you could finally have old Bill for yourself. Might be better for everyone that way. Bill's what I call a real man, all strong and ambitious. Like you should be running this town. That ain't gonna happen when he's dragging you and that little gutter snipe behind him. You always drag him down, Annie. Don't you see that? What a real man is a real woman, one who really understands him. Old Bill ain't interested in girls like you, bro. You're just a source of income for him. Isn't that what it used to be, Annie, before he managed to get you knocked up? You see, the same thing could happen to any girl who works here. You ain't nothing special. We'll see how things work out in any case. Interesting. So you're Pearl. You're kind of a interesting person. Yo, wait, that I gotta blur out the painting. You recognize the brown leather purse that belongs to Pearl. She seems to be changing those, so you take a quick look at its gun. Among the usual trinkets you also find a small pocket knife. At least Pearl has enough sense to keep some protection close to hand while she's working. So weapon is small enough to get inside your coat. Okay. Room is shared by the other girls who work at the saloon full time. Pearl's the only one sleeping here now ever since the last girl fell sick with one of the diseases of passion. She fell in love with one of her customers. You step gingerly inside the bedroom that you share with your daughter Jenny, and you hope that this is the last time for so long you've both wanted to escape this awful place. What's the key for? On top of his camera, you keep the spare key to his bedroom, and you've doubled that habit sleeping with the door locked after all those nights when old Bill got drunk and angry about some imagined misdeed. At least you could keep Jenny safe. One of your bedroom key could be a useful piece of evidence. They think you would bring your search to the saloon to an end. Where would I put the key? Oh! I could put the key inside Ernie's room, wherever Ernie sleeps, if he even sleeps here. Can't help but release a sigh of relief when you don't see any sign of old Bill in his bedroom. You must be outside on the balcony. You check the lid. You're quite surprised to find his small chest unlocked. Old Bill's usually quite vigilant about keeping his valuables under lock and key. There are many glistening items of jewelry and memorabilia piled inside. Sitting on top of the piles is his most treasured possession of all, a golden pocket watch. Could be useful and planted in the right location. A golden pocket watch. Golden pocket watch. I don't know how this is going to be useful to me. Glad we could come to an arrangement. Please find enclosed banknotes totaling $50. Dan Cassidy of the Majestic Saloon. The Majestic is a rival saloon here in Willistown run by Dan Cassidy. The money has been removed from the envelope already, but the note itself is interesting. Old Bill has never been above doing business with his rivals, even though he and Dan have tried to kill each other on more than one occasion. You wonder if this note might raise certain suspicions if it was planted on the right occasion. Taking the note will bring your search. What did it say? Glad we could come to an arrangement. Please find enclosed banknotes totaling $50. Who would want to sell... The bartender. The bartender trying to get out of... Okay, one moment. There's a revolver on his nightstand. For as long as you've known him, Old Bill slept with this loaded 6-shooter sitting on his bedside table. It's probably smart given the number of former associates he's double-crossed over the years, though it could just as well be used against him. So weapon small enough to conceal beneath your coat. Taking the 6-shooter will bring your search of the saloon to an end. But that's loud. Loud as hell. Overkill. Okay. You can call off your dogs, Old Bill. I'm right here. I swear you're gonna be the death of me, Annie Bruce. Keep running away like that, and you're liable to send me to an early grave. Only so much stress a man's heart can take. Truth is, no good comes out when we fight like we did last night. I've been standing out here damn near all day just thinking things over. I came up with a solution to these little problems we've been having lately. Oh? Sure. Something I should have done an awful long. Reckon it's about time you and I got married. Marriage, Bill? How's that supposed to stop us from fighting each other? Well enough how my mom and pa used to damn near rip each other's throats out at times. It'd be different for us, Annie. I ain't one to take things lightly. You know that. It's a holy sacrament, two people join together with a God as their witness. That's not how that works. She's around, just went off to play with her friends, that's all. And make sure you fetch her back in after supper when I have words with her too. Anyhow, think over what I said, we'll talk again tomorrow, maybe make it official. One of Old Bill's favorite pastimes is the latest to outline verses in the Bible which he believes supports his brutish and vengeful way of life. For example, the phrase, "Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed," has a thick black line around it. This could be a useful piece of business. Set up the pastor? Why? I ain't done yet. Is there a door right there? No. You doubt you find anything useful in the kitchen. Okay. We finally hired someone to work on plumbing in this place last week after he'd spent months complaining about it. This old lead pipe seems to have been discarded here on top of the barrel. Looks fairly sturdy as far as blunt weapons go. There's nothing special about this old log. So Zeke and Sam. Oh, I could put the letter. I could put the letter in. Old Bill's room. Zeke, no question about it. So this is from the pasture to Zeke. And then we can set up Zeke or Sam. Oh, crap. So I messed this up. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't learn anything. Guess that means supper's ready. But we can figure out how this goes. Yo, Josie sure is one heck of a fine cook, Zeke. You taught her real good. You never tasted my cooking, Bill. Trust me, that girl got it from her mother. Any more for you, mister? No, thank you, my dear. The meal was surprisingly delectable. I'm so grateful you invited me to dine here. Real high-faultin' way of talking, stranger. You one of them traveling theater folks? Though you do seem like a highly observant, insightful fellow, I'm afraid you're quite wrong in this case. I'm not with theater. Take another guess, Ernie. I think we ought to mind your own business. Sounds like he's patronizing you, Ernie. Speak to me again, and I'll show you where my natural talents lie. Only you won't be alive to appreciate them for long. You threaten me now, you flannel-mouthed little. I say you best leave that man alone, Ernie. He ain't in a talkative mood. You work in an Irish could sure use one of your evening specials. Sure, Ernie, you drop in any time. You best not wear her out too much. I'm still hoping to see some other patrons tonight. Maybe Josie could fill in. I don't think Father Augustine wants to hear us discussing this sort of thing. I'll talk how I damn well like in my own establishment. Well, the preacher can leave if he doesn't like it. Could you mind the bar for a while? Well, could you mind the bar for a while we're done here, Josie? I need to go check out the brewery. It better be an improvement on the last batch, Zeke. You got enough problems without your beer keeping folks away. Let's hope so, Bill. Well, reckon I'll go see if my britches have dried out yet. Thanks again, Josie. You're gonna be on your way home soon, Father. Not that I don't appreciate a little visit, but I reckon you might be driving away our regular customers. What? Anyway, I'm going to take a nap. Good eating always makes me feel dead tired. Say what? You're just going to go... Me. Really? Yeah, I know about that part. Okay, who's outside currently? Oh, I can be... He said he was going to be at the brewery. If I catch the snake, there's no... What are these? These crates and barrels. If I catch the snake, there's not a real big reason for anybody to be in trouble. It's not a murder, it's a mistake. I should learn how to catch a snake. That'd be an interesting way of making that happen. It was quick but noisy. Won't have much time before something comes and investigates the screaming. 12 seconds to go somewhere. killer! There's a killer in the saloon! I didn't even know! What's all the commotion? Could be anything known, Ernie. I guess we should go see what's got this rattled. I'm assuming this is the sheriff now. Alright, I finished searching the saloon. I aim to figure out what exactly happened here tonight, and I reckon one of you folks knows something about it. Seems there's only one face here I ain't never seen before. What's your name, stranger? If you must call me something, you can call me Gideon. I'm really interested in you, Gideon. What's your business here in Williston? All you need to know, Sheriff, is that I've never broken the law, and I'm not intending on doing so. That's all I need to know, is it? How long has this fella been hanging around the saloon? An hour before supper, he ain't caused no trouble. Just been sat at the table over there playing cards all night. Anyone speak to him? Only for him to tell me to go take a hike. When I think of it, I did see Annie talking to him. Was that right? Same as you as well, Annie. Me? You took Jenny across town to a hotel. I figure you and Bill must have had another little disagreement. Zeke must have been tending the bar last night. Did you hear anything? Finally worked up the nerve to confront old Bill about his drinking. It was doing anybody any good. It must have took a lot of courage, Annie. We all know what old Bill was like when he'd been at the whiskey. I reckon that must have taken its toll on you as well. Bill was a mean drunk, can't deny that. Alright then. You hear anything else, Zeke? Sure. Next thing I heard was this sort of big thump from like someone fell into the furniture. I guess he'd been drinking that night. Bill drinks every night, more or less. I suppose it's entirely possible. Anyway, next thing I know, Annie was bounding down those stairs with little Jenny, and the pair of them ran out into the rain. That's all I know, Sheriff. Thanks, Zeke. You've been real helpful. And we're going to know everything you said and did after you got here tonight. Anyone here speak to her before supper? Bill went to was last night, just like I told you. Well, Sheriff, she wanted to know exactly what I heard, so I told her it sounded like Bill had thumped her, and she said I ought to keep my nose out of her business. Help you out. That's about all we said to each other. Annie came on over to have a word when I was playing on the piano. She came on how I was doing and said it was just considering there are some folks in town who'd rather see me gone. She asked who folks were, so I told her. He said there are folks who aim to run this town who want to get rid of him. That's right, folks like old Bill, you mean. Now, Sheriff, don't mind me, preacher, just thinking out loud. That's all I can remember. As the bartender already mentioned, she did come and speak to me. In fact, I mistook her for another prostitute and tried to turn her away. Bet she didn't like that. She recognized my accent as being English, so I began to speak about my motherland. She asked why I did not return here, and explained that it is not possible. You know, there's a tiny, itty-bitty little chance that I get out of this. Seems to recall you said you had some trouble back home. Nothing that would be any of your concern, Sheriff. Depending on how things go, might aim to make it my concern. Anyway, that was the entirety of our very brief conversation. Annie, did come to speak to me. That's all we said. Annie here come to have words with me in the back room. Bill had a mind to send me out to find her. Told her when I said I wouldn't happen, she said I was scared of Bill. Told her just being a lot of bad things. You were loyal, I'll give you that. Anyway, that must have been all she said. She did come upstairs to speak to me before supper. I was surprised to see her. Figured she might have left town for good this time. Told her that maybe she should leave. Never blame old Bill for it. The way I see it, it was my own decision to land me in that position. Can't blame anyone else. Suppose that's one way of looking at it. I don't remember anything else about it. How about Bill, Annie? You speak about him before supper? Yes, sure I did. Ryan, what was the main thing you two spoke about? Told him I'm married. So these two got engaged and he's done with an hour. That seems fishy to you, Sheriff. But it doesn't prove anything. How's... Whatever. I guess. Bill said he'd enjoy the meal, and I remember getting complimented me on it. Well, it was indeed a very fine supper. I remember trying to ask what the hell he was doing down. He threatened me. Gideon, you're threatening? He did. We all saw it. I found his particular line of question to be rather insulting, that's all. This is going to show me where his real talents lie. Now I'm curious about those talents here, stranger. What happened then? He's really focused on the stranger. I don't think I'm in the crosshairs here. He recalls, seems he thought I might be scaring off his regulars, and he also spoke up to say that I had stayed my welcome. Bill had words for her being rude. Is that right? Sounds like arguing with Annie was the last thing he ever did. Alright then. So we unlocking out to discover old Bill's. I found him. I was enjoying Pearl's company in the Scarlet room when I heard a noise. Raised the alarm as quickly as I could. Guess that gives us both an alibi, huh? Not necessarily. Were you and Pearl together the whole time after several? Well, no, I went to take a leak. And I guess we fell asleep after too. Then you're both suspects just like everyone else here. Besides, one of you might have been the accomplice to the other. So where were the rest of you folks when heard everything? I was standing in the bar, gave me quite a scare. I was out back, waiting for my bridge to dry and washing my idea. I just finished making use of the outdoor facilities. I was in the brewery, checking on the latest batch of beer. How about you? Where were you? Outside. Out back. I was out back as well. That's right, she was out back with me and our English friend here. I see, far from the crime scene. We also know what it was that put old Bill on the ground. A broken whiskey being kind of appropriate fellow for ran a saloon. I saw a broken bottle on one of the tables in here earlier. Haven't been meaning to clear it out. Could be that one. In that case, anyone could have taken it. As I said, I finished searching the whole saloon already. Bill has a whole lot of business papers and such upstairs that I haven't had a chance to read yet, and I'll get to them later. When I was going through Bill's room, I found something in the drawer of his desk. His letters addressed to you. Zeke says something about finding gold out in the Red Hill River. Hey, now, how'd that come to be there? Seems to be that old Bill must have found out the letter. Zeke, did you want to stop him from getting... That's not the way I intended it to go. I intended it to be on Sam. Seems a compelling motivation. Gold can make him do all sorts of things. I didn't find anything else that got my attention anyway. Afraid so. Best we get this over with. You first, Father Augustine. Don't be getting too handsy there, Sheriff. On the line of duty. Alright, I'm done. I reckon I've heard enough to come to a decision. I've had my debts by you, Sheriff, I don't think you were involved with. I thought from the start that you might have been somebody, to be honest, I still think you could have done it. There's a question raised about you, Zeke, but I don't think you said it because it was us. So I'm hung? Or am I just questioned? Oh, I was jailed. I got all this says, and my gut tells me that you were the one who did this to Bill. Can't say I blame you. Everyone know he had it coming. Let me go. Then sorry, it just must be sort of figures. There's someone here to see you. Jenny. Guess if you know, then I'll be back to Jenny over to stay at Zeke's place. Could be last time he was here for a while. Best make it count. Well, we're not dead at least. But that's definitely not the way we want this to roll. So instead of what'd you hear last night? Nothing I heard. There was always a couple minutes of it. You say you might have thought that it really wasn't like that. I ain't a fool, Annie. I know what I heard. Don't worry. And if you're about that, I can tell something else I can do for you. Does old Bill seem alright to you? Now that you mention it, I guess he has been acting a little peculiar these past 2 days. Did you worry about business? I've been losing a lot of regular coach to the Majestic. Ain't nothing wrong with my beer. For you say, we just ain't got as many girls working for us these days. How's he been acting strange? Just kind of sullen, I guess, not his usual self. Can't say any of us necessarily miss his usual self, to tell you the truth. So, we should look around for evidence stuff. I guess like the pocket knife's a good idea. to pin it on somebody else. Seriously, I think the rattlesnake's a great idea if you had a way to capture it. The bloodstained rag is evidence that Old Bill had one of his regular disagreements with Pearl recently. Sadly, it's not anything out of the ordinary. The girls all come to expect a beating now and then. However, you wonder if you could use this item to your...
Ooh. Yeah, but Pearl likes Old Bill.
If I could get her something to say... we're going to use a tincture of opium after recover by the doctor who suffers serious aches and pains. Apparently, Pearl is one of those women. There's not enough left in the bottle to cause an overdose, but perhaps it could be useful. Evidence for what? Customers must love this one. That's pretty funny. Nothing in the wardrobe. Okay, there's nothing in here except for the key. There's obviously the letter to Zeke. The gold pocket watch. I don't know how the gold pocket watch would be helpful. Whoops. What if the basket's the way I can use the rattlesnake? Wait, what? These days, a lot of weak, deadly fear of snakes. You wonder if the venom or shock might do the work for you. If one could find a way to think of a way to capture it. The basket. Come on. Ooh. Yeah, but if a rattlesnake is the thing that kills Bill, nobody murdered him. A rattlesnake bites Bill. There's no problem with it. Before his back gave up on him, Zeke the bartender used to make his living as a miner. The small pickaxe must belong to him. Ooh, the old two still look sharp enough to be quite an effective weapon. Ooh, this weapon is small enough concealed beneath your coat. If you take the pickaxe, you can still carry one more item. I could try this. I could still blame it on Zeke. Hold on. Before we do that, because Zeke does have Josie. Now let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go talk to more people about both Zeke and our old man. Old Bill's getting worried about you. Sorry to disappoint. Guess we just have to find your assignment someplace else. Seems that way. Don't reckon we'll be having any shoes with Dan Cassie's boy anytime soon. We might be getting a new girl at the saloon though, so at least that's something. Nothing else doing the dead end time anyway. Well, Bill's finally made peace with Dan Cassidy then. Seems they've reached an accord for the time being. Not good for business, if you ask me. I just hope that Bill ain't gonna let his guard down. Cassidy is a snake, and snakes can't be trusted no matter if Bill don't want to hear what I have to say. It's his funeral or anything else. How's old Bill acting these days? You ought to know better than me, Annie. All I know is he's real ticked off about you taking his girl away like that. I wouldn't recommend you repeating that little performance. How's he doing lately? Zeke, I wouldn't worry about it. That old man knows how to take care of himself. If you ever see him shoot a rifle, that man's a crack shot. I always tell him he's wasting his talents behind that bar. Ought to be out with me and the boys doing that real work for old Bill. He'd get a bigger cut that way. So how come he doesn't go out with you and the boys? He's some kind of pacifist. These days don't even like to touch a gun, so he says. You ask me, he's just turned yellow in his old age. Ooh. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing to hear over conversation. Hey Josie, what you cooking? There's really nothing Josie. Zeke is exaggerating things. I'm sure he does that sometimes. I wonder if things weren't that bad. Why'd you take little Jenny away? As well as actually old Bill thought it would be best for Jenny to spend some time with us. He did, never known him to wet. Some time away from his little girl. Maybe he's starting to realize that this ain't the best place to be raising a child. Could be Josie. Old Bill. How does Old Bill seem to you lately? Zeke, how's your old man doing? Hey, he's out tending the bar if you want to ask him. Okay. Ooh, I don't like hearing that he's a pacifist. Something else I can do for you. I already talked to you about Old Bill. How about yourself, preacher? Who doesn't want you here? Old Bill. You running Old Bill lately? Sure. For all his thoughts, you know Old Bill's a true believer. I see him at church all the time. You ever come to a confession? Sure he does, most every week. Obviously I can't tell you what he confesses to me any, but I hope you ain't about to ask, right? Of course not. Spoken to Zeke lately. I go to Zeke a lot. It's been a while since we had a heart-to-heart. Zeke and me, we were shy, and he still comes to church. Always gives generously, maybe too generously if anything. When I say he gives too generously, well, you know the church always appreciates charity. I just don't like to see people giving more than they can afford. You see the state of Zeke's house on the edge of town. Ain't no secret that he and Josie can't hardly afford to keep the place standing. I offer some help, but I reckon he's too proud for that. See, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Well, look who finally shows her face. After you see me, Pearl. Don't really care. Come on, Pearl, let's play nice. Yeah, I guess we probably should. Old Bill's got enough of us play without worrying about you and me. I'm just itching for a fight, I guess. After the fellow downstairs had the nerve to turn me down. You remember how it is, and a girl's gotta work. Notice anything strange about Old Bill? I can't say as I have. He's been waking up in the night with these nightmares. Oh, sorry, and I guess you don't want to hear about that. He's been having nightmares. Sure, wakes up in a cold sweat hollering about snakes or the devil or something. You'd know all about it if you ever got to share. If you ever got to share his bed these days, Annie. Believe me, you're welcome to it. Spoken to Zeke much lately? Not really. Been almost a year since he last took a tumble with me. I guess some men just keep it up in their old age, you know. Just can't keep it easy. Turn stop in more ways. The other day, he even turned away this one girl out of Hayes who came in so soon looking for work. She said she was too young. Like we can afford to be choosy right now. Didn't Old Bill have something to say about that? Oh, you bet he did. He was steaming mad when he found out about it. Never heard the two of them go at it like that before, though Bill might knock the old man out right in the saloon. Guess they worked it out, though. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Yes. Okay. Well, Bill likes to sleep out here under the starlight sometimes. Okay. Call off the dogs. Keeps you running. Truth isn't giving a solution. Sure, off along with it. Okay. And I can't talk to him again, right? Cool. Let's see if everything we've dug up so far has been able to get us off the beaten path and onto Zeke's. Otherwise, I'm gonna try and what else do I have? Okay, Prospector's Note. See if everything I've gotten so far gives us enough dirt. And then we want to pit Zeke and the old man against each other as quickly as possible. Sounds like he's patronizing you, Ernie. So you ever go and tell us what it is that you do, stranger? I believe that man ought to be entitled to a certain amount of privacy in his personal affairs. Well, what if I'm curious? Working on our project for you. Ooh, but Ernie might not like me then. Or not Ernie, Zeke. That ain't happening. Don't reckon it should be your choice, Zeke. Feel like making a little extra money? You mind your manners, old Bill. You know I ain't that kind of girl. I'm only fooling with Josie. Still, the opposite stance. If you change your mind, it won't. Could you mind the bar for a while? I do. But you better an improvement on the last match, Zeke. What's wrong with the last batch? What was wrong with it? It tastes like horse piss. That's what easy now. My beer might not be the best one, but it ain't bad. Cool. That's what I like to hear. Heard you've been visiting him a lot, Bill. Don't worry, Bill. I'll be out of your hair real soon. Good. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a nap. Good eating. We're cooking. Cooking with bacon. Cooking with bacon. All right. Let's get to work. Sorry, Zeke, but I want to make sure my daughter's safe, and you just so happen to be the easiest way to keep me out of trouble. Set the trap under your coat and take carefully. It's important to do this as clean as you. First strike is sure and true. The trap will just pick up. It does not seem to wake or cry, but his body shudders violently. As you pull the pick, the whole bed shakes, and your strength of his dying cold. So you let the tool slip from your fingers. So you've heard something. You need to get out of this room fast. Does that give me more time? Oh my god, it does. I didn't realize we had different weapons give you more time. Now where are you off to, my fair lady? Just walking around. Pants ain't quite dry. Why does it always take so long? Could be anything knowing Ernie. Alright. Now we pin everything on Zeke. The only reason why this might cook us is the pacifist line. That might cook us. You can call me Gideon. Let me know he must turn up an hour. Because anyone speak to him, only for him to tell him to go take a hike. Warner Street took Jenny across the town to a hotel last night. Figure you and Bill was had another disagreement. Finally worked up the nerve to confront old Bill about his drunken. It wasn't doing any good. That must have been took a lot of courage. Sure, next thing I heard was his little someone fell. Bill stumbled into something. Anyway, next thing I knew, he was bound down. That's all I know. Thanks, Zeke, you've been real helpful. In any case, I'm gonna need you. Yeah, I think that's fine. I know what I heard though. Well, she told us just the same. Maybe it's the truth. You spoke about old Bill too. I mentioned you've been acting a bit strange. Anyway, you said you didn't exactly miss the way you usually answer. What I knew of Bill, I didn't mention anyone did. Go on. That's about all we said to each other. Yeah. Annie came on over to have a word when I was playing on the piano. She inquired how I was doing. I said it was fine. See on Bill lately. They told her I'd seen him at the church. Seem to remember you saying that Bill can't. Man, I need to be really careful with the space bar. Tell you that he came to confession. You know that. Well, I guess there must have been something troubling him in any case. She asked me about Zeke too. Said he comes to church every week, but we don't get to speak as much, I think. Said that Zeke always gives generously at church. That he does. He's a good, generous fellow. Sorry, thanks for our kind words, preacher. I appreciate it. That's all I can remember. She was always thinner than Ab, and that my old man was just exaggerating. I want to know how come she took Jenny, and she told me that it was old Bill's idea. I find that really hard of me turning. Me too. I think that's all we said. Yeah, but everyone's been saying he's been acting different as well. Told her it was a shame she showed up. I could have used some excitement. She was real sorry to disappoint. That about from I didn't think it was likely to happen. We were going to be fighting Dan Cassidy's boys anytime soon. Thanks to damn truce. Thought I told her I'd never trust again. No reason. Spoke about Zeke for a while, told her how he cracked shot with a rifle and used some kind of patsy. A real shame could have used this. And a shame of growing out of any desire for violence, that's all. Yeah, I think that line right there might have cooked me. Asked her if she remembered what it was like being a working girl. She said it was a long time. That's right, and he's been away from me. Almost forgot that. You ever think about taking revenge for the thing? Never blame old Bill for it. The way I see it, it was my own decision. I know. She asked about Zeke too. Told her he hadn't told him more than a year. Well, that I could. Would that I could, Pearl. Bill about something, really? About what exactly? Right. This girl turned up the soon looking for work. Zeke said she was too young, put her right back out in the street. Bill's a real man when he found out, said it was Zeke's decision to make. I don't remember anything else about it. How about Bill, Annie? Speak to him. Yes, sure I did. Said I need some time to think about it. I'm surprised anyone weren't the best time on this part. Yes! Okay, good. Did you cook, Josie? I did, Sheriff. Bill said he enjoyed the meal, and I remember Gideon complimenting me on it as well. It was indeed a very fine supper. A couple of us tried asking him what the hell he was doing in town. He wouldn't say. You know, why doesn't that surprise me? What happened? The next thing was Ernie told me to come pay a visit. It was never going to happen. Bill's a man who usually got what he wanted. He ever tried to force the issue with you, Josie? No, he never. Anything else? Last I remember is I asked Josie to mind the bar. Doesn't my beer ain't the best, but sounds like it's a touchy subject for you, Zeke. Did you and Bill fight about it? Well, we might have said a few words. Bill also told me that it'd be best on my way. As I recall, it seems he thought I might be scaring off his regulars. I found I was joined Pro's company in the Scarlet room when I heard a noise, raised the alarm quick as I could. Guess that gives us both an alibi. In the bar, I was out back, outdoor facilities, brewery, outside, out back. I was out back as well. It's mine. I was in the brewery last I saw. I suppose someone could have taken anything as possible, right, Zeke? As I said, I finished searching the whole saloon, but there was a whole lot of business papers. Anything to do with this, Annie, but there are one or two questions that might need answering. I know there are questions. I know there have been questions going to find it hard to leave, but I guess we'll find out. You're a good girl, Josie. Despite any spiritual record, you could have done something like this a million. Consider the way to build it. I don't think you could have taken his own life either. This is what I'm going to do. You're free to go, stranger, but not here. Don't worry, Sheriff. I intend to leave Willis town as soon as possible. I don't know what your plans are now, Annie. I need to talk some more. I could ask you to come along this week. There's some things I want to get clear about you and Bill. Sure thing, Sheriff. Thank you. Yes! Keep me out of jail. Yes! Ma, what are you doing? We should not be leaving town. I didn't do enough. He's gonna find out. What do you mean? I don't understand. The sheriff still had his doubts. I could see it in the way he looked at me. We need to get our wills done, Jeremy. Zeke's been sent home. Now the sheriff ain't got anyone left in custody. How long before he comes to take me in? Where will we go? Anywhere, Jenny. Anywhere that isn't here. We'll find some place where they can never catch us. Someplace safe. How will we know, Ma? How will we know when we're there? I guess we never will, Jenny. Jenny, you're gonna learn about bleaching hair. Jenny, you're gonna learn how to dress as a boy. But we're with our kid. Technically, we got away with it. I didn't do enough. I think the pacifist line is what cooked me. But we're not in jail. We're alive. I think the way to actually beat that one is to set it up as either he committed suicide or he got scared by the snake through the pasture. I think that's the actual way of doing this. There's not enough evidence inside the bar to set anyone up except for Zeke and except for really just Zeke, to be honest. I guess you could try to set up Pearl, but it doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't make sense for Pearl to be the one that does that, except for if old Bill beat her that bad. But even Pearl goes on to say that she likes him that much. I don't know. That was still cool. I'm interested in the next one. He plays another lady. And it's 1895. A Crimson Garland. It's only, what, 20... Alright, it would be 20. 27 years later, I think. Let me fact check that with a calculator real quick. With a calc. Short for calc. Short for calculator. Yeah, 27 years. I'm just that good at math. Alright. Well, until next time, thank you for joining me on this little adventure. I think every single time is going to have to at least be taken twice, because you need to know everyone's name. You need to know all the evidence you can have and all the possibilities you have. Like, I'm genuinely interested in the snake, but I chose my path and I'm going to stick to that path. Sorry, Zeke. And sorry that we're in a life on the run, but it is what it is. Like, you can't really just we're not in jail. We'll find our way. That's how. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you have a wonderful night, a wonderful day, or a wonderful afternoon, depending on where you are, when you are, what you are. I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye-bye.